Happy Nurses Week! I wanted to take this opportunity during our special week in the lives of all the nurses and healthcare professionals to do a formal introduction of this Diary of a Nurse Manager and talk about why I started it. So it has recently come to my attention and I realized that I have been missing the point. And I'll get into all of that. And I want to really take the time to explore and process and be real in some ways about it. But I decided that one of the first things I needed to do was slow down in my approach during my day. Like every single nurse ever, I don't feel like I have enough time in my shift to get all my work done. And so I'm just busy, I'm running around, I'm just very quick and don't spend much time on any of my tasks. I'm just checking boxes and that's horrible and that's not a good way to approach anything. So my first decision was to just slow down in all of my processing, which I'll get into. But every shift since I have made that conscious decision, I have had these deeply impactful interactions with patients, mostly patients, a lot of the nurses too, but every single shift these last few weeks, it's taken my breath away. So I want to talk about two things. I want to tell one quick story about one of those interactions, and then I also want to talk about a training that I underwent last week that has also impacted me deeply. So quickly, I answered a call light and I walked into this patient's room. And nurses are always just kind of doing a quick scan assessment of what we're walking into when we go and answer a call light of an unknown patient. So this dude is, at first glance, looking pretty tough. He's tatted up. He's got these big belly, text tattoos. And I see an epidural. I see on his couch, I see a motorcycle helmet. His arm is all jacked up. I see these dressings and these gauze. And I'm thinking, man, this guy got messed up in an accident. He's Anyway, so I say, what can I do to help you? And he immediately just starts needing help with arranging his stuff. He needs the trash can accessible. He can't use that arm at all. It's just kind of there. And, he asked me to move his things around and get adjusted so he could just access what he needed to access. And I was helping him, just being really nice and friendly. And okay, is this good? Can I get you anything else? He's yeah, I need a cup of ice and I need a pencil. He's I need a pencil with an eraser, a big eraser on it so I can grab stuff off my table and pull it toward me and get what I need to get. And in the back of my mind, subconsciously, I'm thinking, is this man going to stab me with a pencil if I walk back in here with a pencil? So I go, I'm sure. I come back with his ice and his pencil and I give it to him. I ask him if he's situated and I say, is there anything else you need? And he looks at me and he goes, can you just stay? Can you stay for a few minutes and talk to me? And normally I would just be yeah, I can stay. We can chat for a few minutes. I've got, a lot of stuff to do, but I'm happy. What do you need? But I didn't do that. I said, yeah, you got it. What's going on? And he said, I'm a talker. I need to talk about stuff. And he's I don't have anybody here. And he's I don't have anybody even in this state. And I'm yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here with you. And I said, where's home? I didn't even need to ask him because I could tell. He's Jersey. And I'm yeah, you're from Jersey. I knew that. Just talking to him for a few minutes. So we start talking and I swear 30 seconds into our conversation, he starts telling me about his own father who had died 9 years prior. And he brought it up kind of out of the blue. And it was one of those moments I knew immediately just he's dealing with his own mortality and the loss, the grief of losing his dad. And as somebody who has been there, I just immediately, my heart broke for him. And he's, a relatively young patient, maybe 40s or 50, early 50s, and he's realizing that he's not invincible and he's scared. And it hit me. I was just yeah, the humanity of it and the pain that was present. And I just listened, he talked to me and I talked to him a little bit. It wasn't even a long conversation. The doctor came in and they needed to adjust some things with his epidural. So I kind of excused myself and left. But I was so impacted by his need for human connection. That was it. He just wanted someone to be with him and talk. So that obviously one story, just brief story, that every single shift I've had something like this. And then last week I went to a training called Talk to Me. It was a training that my hospital is offering to build these response teams for emotionally traumatic experiences for employees that employees go through in their workday. First of all, super rad. I was like, this is awesome and so needed and really cool. It was a great training and I was thrilled to be a part of it. But what hit me so much was just the fact that it's needed, that they need to have these debriefing teams for when employees experience trauma, emotional, physical trauma, whatever. The stories they told of these experiences, nurses kind of have to come to work knowing either consciously or subconsciously that at any moment of any day you can have this traumatic, horrible emotional experience. You see just some of the worst things that you can see. And the fact that nurses choose to work in an environment like that is incredible. It's incredible. And I need to show up in a way that is appreciative of that every single day and figure out what it is that the point really is. So all that to say, this is why I'm gonna be logging and documenting my thoughts, my experiences as a leader of nurses. I love nursing leadership and nursing management, and if I can help make this crazy environment like the hospital where you could experience a trauma at any moment, if I can make it a better place, that's what I'm here to do. So I hope that you will join me on this journey. I hope that you can hear my heart and know that we are all imperfect people, completely just screwed up in a lot of ways, and we're all doing our best. But as long as we do it together and stick together, we're gonna be okay. So that's my journey, that's my desire, that's what I'm aiming towards. So hope that you join me and enjoy watching the process of a nurse manager figuring it out. That's all I have to say. Happy Nurses Week. Bye.